Governor Matawale receives arms cash, doles out vehicles for security. Sokoto State Government increases health workers' hazard allowance by 100%. Representatives seek 2 months free electricity supply to Nigerians. On business, Finance Minister explains why Nigeria is not among beneficiaries of recent IMF debt relief. And on the international scene, accounting Nigeria linked to European COVID-19 mask fraud. Hello viewers, welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Governor Bello Matawale of Zamfara State has announced that the state government will distribute 200 Hilux jeeps and 190 motorcycles to security operatives in the state to support the war against banditry and terror. Dr. Bello Matawale made this announcement while inspecting a cache of arms and ammunition willingly surrendered by repentant bandits to the Nigerian army in the state. Governor Matawale swiftly paid an unscheduled visit to the force headquarters of Operation Hadari in Daji in Gusau, Zamfara State, and received of the news of the recovery of some weapons by troops of the operation from bandits hitherto operation in the state. The governor, who was received by the first commander and general officer commanding 8th Division Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Aminu Bande, was at the force headquarters to receive the recovered weapons as well as some other items captured by the troops. The surrendered weapons include 1 General People's machine gun, 3 Fabric National rifles, and 1 AK-47 rifle, while troops captured a total of 14 AK-47 rifles and 10,000 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition. Governor Matawale commended the resilience of the Nigerian army and promised to support them in the fight against banditry, which has now a policy of carrot and stick approach. He lauded the first Commander General Mande for his dynamic leadership since assuming command of the operation.
I'm here for a private visit. What I see is very encouraging. And I even have decided one time that whenever people are going for operation from the writings, I should come and say thank you for guidelines service. Because as you said, right, we cannot be able to achieve complete dialogue. We cannot. We have to use stick and carrot, which we are doing right. And I am to appreciate the effort we made by our men, by recording successes and all the operations that took place in various countries, which if we have men of Nigerian army like what we have as a question, I assure Nigerians that the whole country will be safe, because when the men goes for operation, they rescue kidnapped victims.
He acknowledged tremendous support of the military to the overall peace achieved in the state, especially the concerted effort of the Operation Hadari in Daji. The first commander appreciated the governor for the immense support given to the military in the state in the course of carrying out its constitutional responsibilities of securing the state. According to General Bande, the support of the state government was central to the creation of an enabling environment for the military to operate effectively in the state. He lauded the governor for his unquantifiable support towards the successes being recorded by the operation in the state. He praised the magnanimity of the state in providing logistics, including the present location of the force headquarters, which hitherto served as the Zamfara State Presidential Lodge, among others. He then assured that Operation Hadari in Daji would not rest on its oars until armed banditry was totally crushed and peace was fully restored to the state. He also warned that the recalcitrant bandits to immediately lay down their arms and key into the ongoing peace initiative of the Zamfara State government or face decisive military action.
Let me say it without missing any word, that the headquarters, defense headquarters, the army headquarters, on all other services are in total support of what you are doing in terms of non-kinetic option. What we do as a military men is to support you to achieve your aim by giving you the opportunity to negotiate from the position of strength. And Your Excellency, since you came, there has been very, very relative calm in Zamfara State. Even though the military operation is going on pari passu, you are also achieving a lot in terms of non-kinetic. So we encourage you to please don't rest on your horse. It is your responsibility as a political leader to negotiate and to also put them on the path of thinking, while we will play our own part to also hit and give you the opportunity to negotiate from the position of strength. Once more, Your Excellency, you are welcome, and we thank you most sincerely for finding time to be with us this evening. Thank you, sir.
Sokoto State Government has approved the immediate increment of hazard allowance of the state health workers by 100% for 2 months. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Ali Iname, disclosed this while briefing newsmen at the council chambers in the State Government Secretariat on Thursday. The Commissioner further disclosed that other health workers in the front line on the COVID-19 in the state will in addition be given weekly allowances. He also explained that the State Diagnosis Center currently under construction will henceforth be financed by the entire 23 local government in the state. Also speaking, the Commissioner for Finance, Alhaji Abdul Saman Dasuki, explained that the State Executive Council approved the downwards review of the 2020 budget. According to the Commissioner, the Council has, in response to the global challenges, agreed to review the budget down from the initial 292 billion naira to 153 billion naira. He also disclosed that all the state tertiary institutions will henceforth be entitled to 60% of their revenue, while the remaining 40% will be credited to the state government. The decision, according to Abdul Samad, was based on a report of Committee on Tertiary Institutions. Also, the Commissioner for Water Resources, Alhaji Umar Bature, said the state government had approved the suspension of water rates for the month of April and May across the state. He said the measure was part of palliatives put in place to cushion the effect of lockdown, order to curtail the spread of the pandemic in the state. No fewer than 16,744 poor households have received 20,000 each in the ongoing implementation of the federal government National Social Investment Program in Kaduna State. The federal government is disbursing 446.5 million naira to 22,380 vulnerable households under the scheme to cushion the effect of coronavirus pandemic impact in the state. The head of the cash transfer unit in the state, Haji Hawa Abdurazak, made this disclosure in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria on Thursday in Ikara local government area of the state. Mrs. Razak said that the disbursement which took place between April 7th and 15th had been concluded in 8 out of the 9 benefiting local government areas of the state. She explained that the program began in the state in 2017 with about 10,000 beneficiaries but expanded to 22,380 beneficiaries in the current year. The official said the exercise will be concluded in April 21st with the disbursement of 112.8 million naira to 5,636 vulnerable households in Gwari Council. She said that more vulnerable households will be captured in the social register to increase the number of beneficiaries in the state. In a Twitter handle by the government revealed that 12 additional cases of COVID-19 pandemic have been confirmed in Kano State, making the total confirmed cases to 21. The Twitter handle stated that 1 death have been recorded in Kano as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. Radio Nigeria recorded that additional cases of 5 cases were recorded, making those contacted at then to 9, while as at midnight on the same day it has risen to 21. The state, as directed by Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, will be on total lockdown from 10 p.m. on Thursday. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State says the government cannot afford to impose a total lockdown in the state because the people must eat. Governor Mohammed said this in Bauchi State while commiserating with traders of Musa Lawal Market on the inferno that destroyed some shops and property worth millions in the market. He explained that the government would, however, enforce a minimum lockdown and urge the people to observe social distancing to prevent the spread of the virus. On behalf of the government of Bauchi State, the governor came to commiserate with the traders over the monumental loss in the Musa Lawal Market, which is one of the biggest markets in Bauchi State. The governor noted that 17 shops have been burnt and one life was lost, pointing out that the state government will take steps to cushion the effect of the losses by bringing some palliatives immediately so that the traders will go back to businesses. The governor explained that COVID-19 is a reality. He just came out of it and it is not a joke. He urged the people to continue to exercise social distancing as the government is going to enforce minimum lockdown, but they cannot afford to lock down because people must eat. Governor Mohammed, who said God tested his faith with COVID-19, revealed that he has ordered the complete closure of all borders leading to the state to deny index cases from entering into the state. The House of Representatives and stakeholders in the power sector have agreed to set up a joint implementation committee on the proposed 2-month free power supply to Nigerians. The free electricity is part of the stimulus package aimed at alleviating the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on Nigerians. The House of Representatives had announced its decision to consider a fresh stimulus bill that will ensure that Nigerians get free electricity supply for 2 months. In a statement, the Speaker, Femi Bajabiamila, said the joint panel's mandate is to work out modalities for the proposed 2-month bill waiver for the most vulnerable people in the country. Mr. Bajabiamila said the panel is also expected to identify the group of Nigerians to benefit from the free power supply, the number of households connected to the national grid, as well as find the way forward for regular power supply to Nigerians after COVID-19 crisis. In his opening remarks at the meeting, the Speaker said the essence of the meeting was to provide means of alleviating the socio-economic effect of COVID-19 on Nigerians during and after the crisis period through the supply of power. At the meeting were the Minister of Power, Maman Saleh, the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Mr. James Momo, Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Malam Milekiari, and the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, Marilyn Amobi, as well as representatives of distribution companies. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday evening described as extremely horrifying the news of the death of 14 persons and injury to many from a fire incident at an IDP camp in Ingala, Borno State. Reacting to the sad incident, the President directed the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to investigate and report the circumstances leading to the incident and advise on how a future occurrence will be averted. He further directed that urgent needed assistance be given to the victims and prayed to Allah to repose the souls of those whose lives were lost and the quick recovery of the injured persons. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation says Northern Nigeria remains a high-risk region for the spread of COVID-19 due to its weak primary health care system. Chief Executive Officer of the foundation, Mark Zuzman, said this during a conference call with selected African journalists, including The Punch, on Thursday. Responding to a question on how the pandemic could affect Northern Nigeria, Zuzman said Northern Nigeria remains a high-risk region, just like any other part of the world with weak health care systems. He said, "We have worked extensively in the north because it is the poorest part of Nigeria. It does not have sort of the weakest overall healthcare infrastructure and facilities, and that is also why the region has the highest child and maternal mortality rate." Those characteristics are shared by several African countries, including in the region that is comparable to the challenges in other parts of the Sahel and other parts of the continent. Meanwhile, the foundation has increased its funding to Africa by $150 million. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation announced an expansion of its funding for the global response of COVID-19. All right, viewers, we're going to short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
That you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080-6303-5385. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, Seoul, Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back on Business. Aguirita has more detail. Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The Minister of Finance, Budget, Ajia Zainab Ahmed, explained why Nigeria was not amongst 25 countries recently granted debt relief by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Quoting the IMF, she said the relief was for the poorest and most vulnerable. And since Nigeria is not indebted to the IMF, there is no outstanding debt obligation to be forgiven, Ajia Zainab Ahmed said on her official Twitter page. She said Nigeria had applied for new financing at the IMF and the country's application is under consideration and receiving attention. The minister said the new application is for financing under the Rapid Financing Initiative, RAF. Nigeria is entitled to access up to 100% of its quota under the Rapid Financing Initiative, RAF. She said the country's current financial position at the IMF is public information on the International Monetary Fund website. On Monday, the IMF had announced immediate debt relief for 25 poor countries, most in Africa, but also in the Middle East, to help them free up funds to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is all on Standard Voice Business Update. I'm Aguirita. And on the international scene, Interpol on Tuesday unmasked an international COVID-19 fraud racket straddling 3 European countries, Germany, Ireland, and the Netherlands. Nigeria was mentioned as home to an account that was to receive a fraudulent onward transfer sum. The elaborate plan that targeted Germany health authorities had to do with securing of face masks in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. Interpol reported that what started as a chain of referrals eventually led to compromised emails and an advanced payment fraud scheme. It all started with an email address and website which appeared to be linked to a legitimate company in Spain, selling face masks unknown to the buyers. The site was a fake and their legitimate email addresses have been compromised. Nigeria popped up at the point of chasing advance payments to the fraudsters. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Matawale receives arms cash, doles out vehicles for security. Sokoto State government increases health workers' hazard allowance by 100%. Representatives seek 2 months free electricity supply to Nigerians. On business, Finance Minister explains why Nigeria is not among beneficiaries of recent IMF debt relief. And on the international scene, accounts in Nigeria linked to European COVID-19 mask fraud. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of news and current affairs department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatinau. I still remain Musa George.